welcome. How are you guys doing today? Let me set myself up a little further away. Hello. So today is day 4 of my starting to go live with you guys and talk to you and share some of my journey, some of the things that I've been thinking through, that I've worked through as I've built my business, as I started to heal. And today I want to focus on talking a little bit about, especially my ladies, my women that are the get shit done. If that is your morning mantra, if that is the things you tell yourself when you feel lazy or unproductive, or that you need to do more, if that's your mantra, this is for you. This is the live for you. Now, why am I doing these lives? Because I've gotten to a place in my life where I am fully embracing all the things that brought me up to this point in my life and in my healing and my business building journey. Some of you have been following me for a really long time. Some of you are new to my space. But regardless, this life that I've built for myself has taken a lot of internal work and a lot of strategic work to get here. And I continue to grow, because this is not the end. This is not the end goal, but this is where I am right now. I'm somewhere where I'm financially independent. I don't depend on a man. I live by myself with my daughter. I co-parent. I run a beautiful business where I get to help women build their dream life and their most authentic business ever, because it's so important that we build from our internal world, not from what the world tells us we should build. So what am I talking about today? Like I was saying, I've built this life, but something inside of me, in my heart, in my journey, saying, you know what, G, be more present, show up, share what's going on in your life, share how you got here, because this is the thing that's gonna just connect you with the people that you want to connect to. And I know that I'm not for everybody. I know that there's a lot of lurkers. There's people that, I'm not their cup of tea, and that's okay. That's all right. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. So what do I want to talk to you about today? If get shit done is your mantra, because I have seen this over and over again, so many women who have built from that energy, from always pushing, always climbing, always doing, always, even like to the point of completely not listening to their body, completely not listening to what their actual needs are, and saying, you know what, in order for me to succeed, I need to get shit done. I need to stop making excuses. No more laziness. No more self-sabotage. I'm gonna do more, right? And what happens with that kind of thinking is that of course we think like this because we are growing up in a world, we have evolved in a world, we've been born into a world where we are working under masculine indoctrination, masculine ways of existing, masculine systems. And in a masculine system, and if you know, man's hormonal cycle is 24 hours, meaning they have a hormonal cycle that is up, like they have energy in the mornings all the way till it goes down at night. Women, we're different. Our energies work different. Our energies are based on our 28-day cycle. So just to give you a little example of how different we are, and yet we are working in a masculine world. Now, what does that mean? It means that we are out of tune with ourselves as women, right? And to go deeper, it's so important that we understand that we all carry feminine and masculine energy inside of us, all of us. Doesn't matter what sex, what gender you are, how you identify, we all carry masculine and feminine energy. What we've lost is the ability to use them properly and to use both of them to our best interest, right? If we are women, and this happens a lot when I work with women, is that a lot of them are exhausted. They're so burnt out because they've been climbing the corporate ladder. They've been trying to learn more and get into a career that's so demanding and so against actually what they want and how they actually want to live their life. But that's just the way they've focused on building a life. They just said, I learned from a long time that either I didn't want to be weak. That happened to me. I used to believe I was weak because, first of all, I was a woman, and because I couldn't commit to anything, I couldn't commit to what I wanted to do. I couldn't commit to what I wanted to go to school for. I couldn't commit, and therefore I was a failure, right? And what I realized is that we have to have a very good understanding, which it took me a long time, guys, because when you're in your masculine energy, you are the hyper independent woman that does not ask for help. When you're in your masculine energy, you are always in the get shit done, super structure version of you. And that really hurt my growth because I got really sick and burnt out when I kept working my ass to the bone. When I thought, don't listen, like, don't be weak. Don't be weak. Don't make excuses for yourself. Get shit done, Gisela. And the more I kept telling myself that, I thought I was growing. I thought, oh my God, I'm building my business. This is so exciting. But honestly, all I did was get myself to be, first of all, very sick. Secondly, I built a business around marketing that I was good at, but I didn't love. And thirdly, I kept attracting really effeminated men. Because when you are in your super masculine energy and super independent energy, guess what? You're gonna attract the opposite. And if you can't give your partner or potential partner the space to be the masculine energy, guess what? You're gonna attract an effeminated man. And for me, that looked like a man that actually financially depended on me. That couldn't stand on his own 2 feet, that I had to take care of ultimately. So that was a really hard look at my life. I'm like, why do I keep hyper attracting and my business feels hard, my life feels hard, my partner feels like a burden, it doesn't feel like a partnership. And it was because I was honestly in my masculine, in my structure of like, I need to get shit done, I need to produce. And guess what? When we are in that energy, we lose our power of flow, of creativity, of imagination, of sensuality. Because guys, it doesn't matter what gender you are, feminine or masculine, of, whatever you were born with. What matters is if we do not attune with both energies and know when to use our masculine or feminine energy, guess what? Like, we lose a big part of ourselves. I had become so repulsed by masculine men because I was so much in my masculine, right? And therefore my business was also attracting women that are really masculine and that wanted to heal but didn't know how to, that wanted to build a business but kept getting like stuck, right? So I had to make a big change if I was gonna shift my energy and if I was gonna learn to attract the man that I wanted in my life, which was a partner, not a man that I had to maintain and take care of and baby, so putting it lightly. And I know you women know, okay, when we're independent women to the extreme, okay, we don't let nobody take care of us. We do not let anybody do shit for us because we don't want to depend on anybody, because if depending on somebody means that somehow they will use that against us and somehow we make these right from our trauma. Where does this come from? From our trauma, guys. This comes from our trauma. When I saw what I thought was feminine, I saw as weakness. When I saw my mom be financially controlled, I thought, I will never be like that. I will never be like that. Therefore, I went hyper masculine. I said, I'm going to control my finances. I'm not going to do this. I'm not. And what did that get me? Into a relationship where I was actually the man. And to building a business where I had to act like the man in order to get shit done. And guys, that was exhausting. That was exhausting. That was... I gained a lot of weight. I lost my sensuality. I didn't connect with my energy. And to say the least, my sex life sucked. Okay, because let's be honest, like, if I can't be in my sensuality, there's no way I'm gonna have orgasms. You know what I mean? So the reason I want to share this with you is because there's a right way to use masculine and feminine in anything, in absolutely anything. My business does require me to have masculine, and I want you to understand what masculine means to me. I mean, you can go into textbook definition, but what I've learned to understand about being what a masculine energy is the structure. It's the thing that holds us, right? And the feminine energy that we carry is this flow. It's our creativity. It's this power of attraction. Think of it this way. When I'm in the masculine in my business holds the structure of my business, of how I set up my life, my business to work with my clients. But my feminine, that attracts my clients to me, that attracts money to me, that attracts abundance, that attracts the right person and all that good stuff. But my masculine holds it. When I'm using my masculine right, and I'm giving room for both things to exist, guess what? My feminine attracts it, my masculine holds it into a structure that can be maintained. How beautiful is that? How beautiful is it to realize that you can use both energies to make something work extremely well in your favor? How do I use this in relationships? You can use that with money, right? The money, for example, let's talk about money, right? When I want to attract money, I'm in my feminine, because our feminine energy is the thing that gives us the creativity to show up, to develop ideas, to attract things to us. When I'm in using my masculine energy for my money, I am budgeting. I am creating structure to plan for future investments, for how I'm going to invest in my business, how I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to look at my numbers. That is masculine. But both are needed. So if I'm only in my masculine, I'm always budgeting. I'm always like 1 + 1 = 2. Okay, I gotta save this. But if I'm not in my feminine, guess what? I'm not attracting it to myself. I'm not calling it in. I'm not letting my creativity flow to embrace new opportunities and call in new clients and get all this good stuff to come to me. And if I'm fully in my feminine with my money, this is an example, but this applies to all of it, all of your life. It could be with a partner, with your business, with how you parent, everything, okay? It literally can be applied to everything. If you are only in your feminine when you're talking about money, guess what? You're always attracting money. You're a magnet. This is where we see women or men that make a lot of money but don't know how to hold it. They're always, they end up being bankrupt, they end up going broke, they end up always living paycheck to paycheck, because guess what? They attract it to them, and they're always so lucky to be, sorry, there's a lot of street noise in my area because I'm in Colombia, so please ignore it. But, you know, there's so many people, so many of them attract the money, and then they're like, yeah, I'm broke by the end of the month. I made a $5,000 sale, or I'm making $5,000 at my job, but at the end of the month, I'm broke, because they're not exercising their masculine energy, which allows them to create structure, to budget, to know what needs to be done. Does that make sense, guys? I hope this makes sense. So that's just one example of how to properly use both your energies, your masculine energy and your feminine energy in anything, right? So if you're always the woman that's get shit done, you're so away from your feminine. I used to be that woman. And guess where that got me? I was just always burnt out. I was always like, it felt like I didn't know where I was going. I always felt lost. I always felt like I needed to listen to what other people wanted for me versus what I wanted for myself. And that's because I didn't trust my feminine. Our feminine energy is so intuitive. It's a feeling. It's something that comes through us. And as women, right, we have this innate connection to it, but we've been so disconnected to it that we forced ourselves to go with the structure. Gisela, give me the strategy, right? That's what these women come to me. They're like, Gisela, I want my business to be successful. Just give me the strategy to make the perfect offer, to have the perfect website. But they are so disconnected from their message, their mission, why they're doing it, who they want to serve. And then they're saying, well, why is my strategy not working? Darling, because you are not in your creative flow, and your creative flow can only be untapped through your femininity, through your feminine power, your energy, your flow. So how do we get in touch with these aspects of ourselves? First of all, for me to realize that I was so disconnected from my feminine, I had to look at my trauma, right? And I'll give you a quick example. Guys, every time I was near a woman that was really effeminate, like she was like, you know, squeaky voice, didn't shake a hand, but gave it to you like this, I was highly triggered by that. And the more pink she wore, I was very much triggered by it. I was like, right? And I'm like, what is wrong with me? Like, I need to change this belief around women for myself, because I'm a woman and I need to stop judging them. So I had to go inward, and I realized at some point in my childhood, through seeing the abuse of my mom, and my mom is a very beautiful woman. She's very feminine. She's very feminine. I realized I connected that the reason she was in the relationship that was so toxic, so abusive, was because she was weak. And what made her weak was her femininity. Okay? And why I'm telling you this, because this all connects. We have to look at our past beliefs that come from our trauma, or things that we've heard or learned along the way that have given us these connotations of either protecting ourselves, because when we're fully in our masculine and only in our masculine, we're usually protecting ourselves from something, or we're avoiding something. And when we're fully in our feminine, we're also acting to be like the victim. Oh, save me, right? I was in the unhealed version of me in the feminine, where I was like always looking to be saved, and I would always get up and be saved by the wrong person, right? Because when you're looking to be saved, you're usually being saved by the hyper masculine men that are usually abusive. Just saying, because they're not in touch with their femininity. So I hope this is all making sense, guys, because I'm not usually planning what I'm going to talk about. I just ask my heart what it feels like connecting with today. And today I really wanted to share this with you of why it's so important that we use both of our energies, because I know. So let me finish the story. So when I realized that I had this trigger with women who had really soft, high-pitched voice, usually very thin and pink. They love pink. And they couldn't shake a hand. They went like this. Like, that was the thing. I was like, hi. It really triggered me, guys. Like, I'm like, it makes me laugh, because I'm like, gee, you were highly triggered by this because you had this connotation that they were weak. So what did I have to do? The only way to disprove a belief is to look for to replace it with a new belief. So I wanted to believe that femininity was not weakness. Once I realized that I saw femininity as weakness, I'm like, okay, I need to switch that shift. I need to make that shift in my head that femininity is not weakness. How do I do it? I need to see powerful women. I needed to see feminine women who were powerful. I need to see feminine women who were independent, who made money, who had empires. And in order for me to see it, I had to do intensive. So what I started to do, I started to follow hyper feminine women. I started to go to networking events where it was a lot of women and they were entrepreneurs. And I started to see the power that they held in their femininity. I'm like, this bitch makes all this money, runs a company, and she's so in her feminine. She's so in her flow. And I realized that that's the thing that I wanted for myself. I wanted that femininity. I wanted to embrace that part of me and not see it as weakness. So I had to do an intensive with these women and surround myself and befriend them and stop seeing them like they were an other and started seeing them like they were a part of me and they could teach me something. I started to learn from them. I started to see how when they went for pedicures and manicures and cared about going to massage and cared about, going and relaxing, I'm like, I need more of that in my life. I need more of that in my life. And they were still making money, right? They embraced that part of them. They're like, Gisela, we have our structure, but that is not all that we are. We are not just our masculine. We are also in our feminine. And because that is where our magic comes from. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It took me a while to understand that I could be in both. And it had huge repercussions, beautiful, positive consequences in my personal life. I stopped attracting men that were like really effeminated, really needy, men that couldn't provide for me if I wanted them to provide. It stopped attracting men that like wanted me to be their mother. Because when you're in your masculine, you're kind of in this provider role. Okay, you're in this provider role and it's icky, it's yucky. I realized that so many of my relationships, either they were my father or I was their mother. And I was like, I do not want to do that again. No, I do not want to mother anyone. I do not want to I don't want to take a boy and turn him into a man. No, I deserve a man. I deserve a man. And I'm just like, and trust me guys, I'm still on this journey. I am so still on this journey of working through my feminine and masculine and making sure, because when I don't feel safe, I run to my masculine. When I feel like oh shit, I don't know if I'm safe. I don't know if there'll be enough money. I don't know if this is the right person for me. I don't know. I run to my masculine. I run into my protection, which is what I know, my masculine. So guys, I hope you understood what I wanted to share with you. Share your questions. Ask me anything about what we're talking about. Like, I am so indulgent in knowledge. Like, I read books all the time. Like, honestly, like, I apply it to my life. I have lived everything I've learned and I apply it daily. And that's why I consider myself such an amazing coach, because I don't just read and to learn. I apply And I make myself living proof of the work that I do and the work that I help my clients do. So I hope you take away that the areas that maybe you need to work on. I hope you take away and see how maybe you may be too much in your masculine, or maybe you are too much in your feminine, and what that could look like if you could embody both. And reach out to me. Let's chat. Ask me questions in the comments. Let me know what you're struggling with. If you think more that you're more in your masculine or you're more in your feminine, I would love to know, because maybe I can give you some clarity. Maybe I can give you some support and some help in just getting you to see how this could be a huge difference for you. You know, a lot of people are disconnected to their careers because they're only doing it to make ends meet, or because they need to get shit done, or because they went to school for it. A lot of that thinking is from our masculine energy, right? It's from the I need to provide for myself. I need to be okay financially. I need to. But we have shunned away the feminine energy, which is about positivity, possibility, and it's about attracting and creating things. The feminine energy in us, I mean, women are the creators of life. We birth life through us, literally. We are a channel of creation. So imagine if we're shunning away our feminine energy, like we are completely disconnected from our superpower. And guys, to end on that note is, as soon as I embraced my femininity more, and as soon as I embraced working both with my masculine and feminine in an equal way, it allowed me to attract the right people to my life. My partners got better at what I was attracting. My business got better because I stopped burning out. I started to know when I needed to rest, when I needed to recharge, and how my creativity blossomed. And most of all, guys, my sex life got better, like 100 times better, as soon as I embraced my femininity. So if you take anything from this, if you want to have better sex, embrace your femininity. Embrace it, because it is the deliciousness in you that makes you feel, I'm delicious. Anyway, guys, hope you have a beautiful Thursday afternoon. I'm sending you guys lots of love, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 5. Bye.